Did you own crypto before you joined Binance?
No, I did not.
Okay. What about you, Larry?
My story is an interesting one. Funny enough, my story also touches Sam's story. So I was also at Weber Wenzel. I'm an attorney by profession. I made a pivot out of articles into the banking sector. So I went into ABSA. I was there for nearly 7 years. I was at the time where the Barclays were still prominent, and right across Africa, they were there for 100 years, etc. And ABSA then, Barclays then bailed out because of regulatory concerns, and ABSA took over, and African Asset became right across Africa. And from ABSA, I then jumped onto the Reserve Bank. I was there for about 3 years. At the South African Reserve Bank, always looking after tech. Even in ABSA, I was looking after tech. In fact, in ABSA was the first time I came up with the concept blockchain, because they were trying to bank the unbanked, and there was a service provider that was using this technology called blockchain. And that was the first contract review I did where I said blockchain. I was like, what's this? I don't know what happened to it. I think I moved before then. And then when I got into the South African Reserve Bank, I was looking after the naughty children of the Reserve Bank, which is the prestige bullion, the money-making enterprises of the Reserve Bank. And then also looked after the fintech department. And again, blockchain and cryptocurrency became relevant because the IFWG was engagement with the industry.
What the IFWG is.
Okay, so that's the Intergovernment Framework Committee that is comprises of many different regulatory authorities, and they sit together and brainstorm and try and tackle current issues and relevant topics that might be from payment issues all the way to cryptocurrency. So that committee, and Saab was at that point in time the chair holding the chair seat of that committee. So we were like driving everything in that. And I was actually on the other side of the fence, so pushing back against crypto. I think we were reviewing stable coins at that point in time. Still never owned anything, still never opened a wallet, still never cared much about it, to be honest. I had a crazy friend in ABSA that used to tell me buy Bitcoin. I wish I listened, but that's a story for another day. And then I got an inbox on LinkedIn from some lady in Singapore that said, you want to work for Binance? And I was like, I don't know who you are, probably a scam. Like, I'm not interested. Then she slid in the DM again, and she was like, you're not sure, do you want to get a meeting, and she insisted. So I said, okay, let me walk down this rabbit hole. And boom, here I am, 2 years later, working for Binance as the head of legal for Africa. And wear many other hats, the POC for AI as well. So yeah, there's a lot of Binance is like Sam articulately said, a massive ecosystem, and we're trying to find ourselves, or at least convey what we're about to audiences such as this, is that we just ultimately an ecosystem, and one from the perspective of evolution, because we find ourselves like put in a space from fourth industrial revolution, where it gave birth to the distributed ledger technologies, which gave birth to blockchain technologies, which gave birth to digital assets, which ultimately gave birth to cryptocurrency. So if you start looking at it from that perspective, you realize that there was always going to be this thing called Binance, and we just happen to be in that shape and form of it currently.
Right. So when did you buy your first crypto?
When I got paid, actually. I got my pay.
At Binance?
Yeah, so I got my, they gave a reward to employees for like 6 months or something like that. And that was the first, what was the token? BNB that I got.
Okay.
Yeah.
BNB is doing very well this year. By the way, BNB is the Binance,
I wish I kept it.
the Binance currency token. It's up at about 20,000 Rand at the moment.
Yeah. I think it's made astronomical growth, especially after the past year. I think we've grown from $500 to about 1,001 at some point in time a few weeks ago. So yeah.
Right. So Sam, maybe just explain for people who, why do we have a BNB? Why do we have a Binance in-house token? Why do we need it?
So Binance's in-house token was obviously built. It was effectively the bedrock upon which Binance was built when our founder, I think, founded the institution in 2017. The purpose was effectively to rival Bitcoin. A lot of people make the error in that we synonymize crypto assets with Bitcoin. They aren't the same. Bitcoin is obviously the largest asset with the largest market share, but you've got various others. You've got Bitcoin, you have Ethereum, and then of course you've got your altcoin. You've got Ethereum, Bitcoin, BNB, and various other tokens. Now, effectively, how BNB comes about is obviously from a capitalization perspective. That's why it was there for Binance. I think when CZ made the jump from Bloomberg to building Binance up. That's one of the first things he obviously needed to
Right.
do.
And
bring it to
CZ
market.
is the founder of Binance.
CZ is the founder, correct? Yeah.
Yeah.